Hey, what's up guys, it's me again and welcome back to my channel Mayta What Ifs. Today I am back with a new short movie. The name of this short movie is What If Naruto Chainsaws from Hell Unleashed. And yeah guys, it is an unscripted short movie and my own idea. Now before continuing this, make sure you leave a like and subscribe to my channel and follow me on my Potato What If as well as Apollo Uchiha channel as well if you haven't done so already. And without any further ado, let's begin with our today's short movie. Our story begins in Konoha Gakure no Sato, on a night that changed everything for the village. Everything was peaceful. That is, until out of nowhere, the Kyubi no Yoko appeared outside of the village in a nearby forest. And like a rampaging beast that has lost its mind, it began to march towards them. The civilians, they felt a wave of fear cover their whole body and dashed to the hideouts and to get away from their homes. The shinobis, even if their instincts screamed at them to run away, dashed towards the Biju who was marching towards them because they knew they were the only ones who could stop the Biju or try to do so. Leading them was Hiruzen Sarutobi, the retired Hokage, and he asked only one question to anyone who he had met that day. Where the hell was Minato Namikaze, their current Hokage? And nobody unfortunately knew. It had been almost an hour, but it felt like a century of hell for Konoha since the attack had begun. Slowly but surely, Kyubi has been inching towards the village, and the shinobis, their numbers have been decreasing because they are being flung left and right like ragdolls, being killed like pests by the Biju, who was still roaring onwards towards them. The civilians, even if have evacuated, were faced with a lot of attacks from far above, such as the tail slams of the Biju that caused miniature earthquakes, as well as its roar alone that shattered windows. As this was going on, one of the shinobis in front of Hiruzen was grabbed by the Kyubi's tail and thrown like a baseball all across the village. Damn it, where is Minato? In this sense, we're gonna get butchered. And that is when a huge toad appeared and headbutted the Biju, as everyone roared and applauded because they knew one of two people have arrived. Either it was Jiraiya, one of the legendary Toad Sanin, or it was their Hokage. It wasn't Jiraiya, it was their own leader who had arrived, and seeing him, people cheered and yelled, "Hokage-sama has arrived! Yeah, let's deal with this now!" And so, everyone began to wonder what Minato was doing. Hiruzen was the one who caught him on the other side of the battlefield, and he was frantically preparing something. As giving charge to the Jonin commander Shikaku Nara, he arrived next to him. "What is going on here, Minato? I thought you had everything under control. You gave us surety. I know what I said. It was under control. Everything went smoothly. Is this what you call smoothly? We were attacked. A masked person claiming to be Madara Uchiha did so. He kidnapped my son and took Kushina as a hostage later onwards. And then, when I found her, she told me that the Biju was distracted. Then what were you doing up until now?" "I was fighting him. He was standing and enjoying the show up at the valley over there, above the Hokage monument." "What?" "Yes, I'm telling you the truth. Look, we don't have much time. I have only one shot at this." "What are you gonna do?" "I'm gonna seal the Biju within my own son. This is Naruto, my newborn." "Are you insane? Newborns would not be able to carry the Biju. We have seen what happened in Suna, right? We can't have that happening in Konoha. It won't." "I am sure of that, because Shinigami is gonna be involved." Reaper that seal," said Hiruzen as he was now in shock. "You're gonna use that? Are you insane? That seal is extremely dangerous, and you should know your life will be taken away as a form of payment by the Shinigami. You will never see, even in afterlife, your loved ones. I know. It is a price that I'm willing to pay for everyone's sake. It is all my fault. I should have properly prepared and told at least a bit of the Anbu teams to be alerted. No, Minato. It was a negligence on everyone's part. Alright, if you want to do this, then let me know. What? The village needs you. I, on the other side, I need to do this. Because I am the only one who is capable of. You don't know the hand seals like I do. And so, after the pattern was drawn, Minato began to do the hand seals. As soon as he was finished, the time seemed to slow down. Hiruzen stood there frozen, because he too was slowed in time, more like frozen, as Minato looked towards him and was shocked. Hiruzen-sama, what is going on? You summoned me, said a voice, almost speaking like a ghost, as in front of him was a figure that put terror in each and every pore and soul of Minato. It was the Shinigami itself. What do you want? I do not have time to deal with you and your likes. I want you to steal the Kyuubi no Yoko within my newborn son in exchange for my soul. As there was a huge and heavy silence, Shinigami-sama, I am evaluating the child's soul. It is weak, too weak to carry that strong Biju within. Either your child's soul will die consumed by the Biju, or the body would itself explode. What? No. There has to be a way. I can't let this happen. Isn't there any other way? Please? I am not Kami. That is why Kami doesn't deal with the like of you, always asking for some miracles. I am Shinigami. I only allowed this because the criminals needed to be punished, not this way around. That is, if you are willing to make a deal with me. Deal? What deal? Nothing. I will help you, but won't take your soul. In exchange, a soul from my side will come to you and be one with this kid over here. What are you talking about? A soul for a soul. I will seal the Biju, but not do it for free. I have created this demon and want to see if it would be beneficial for the elemental nation or not. And your son will be the one to harvest it, become a part of it. But know this monster that I'm going to be sealing within your son is much more dangerous than the Kyuubi. Do you agree to these terms, Minato Namikaze? I don't have much time. If you happen to think, then call me again. But know this, the next time the deal will be different. I accept. You don't need to go. Minato, being desperate, knew he did not have time and the liberty of thinking this through. So he did. Shinigami, using its small katana, ripped open the reality itself like a fabric and put one of its hand through it and brought out a soul which was orange, and it was growling and was placed on top of Naruto. As it merged with Naruto, the Kyuubi itself was grabbed by the Shinigami as chain shot out from one of its arm and then was sealed within the Reaper Death seal. Remember, Minato, be very careful. As after that, Shinigami left, and Naruto, he now was the Jinchuriki of the Kyuubi no Yoko. Minato, what happened? Did it work? I think it did. Why are you standing here? What deal did you make with the Shinigami? Said Hiruzen, placing both of the hands on Minato's shoulders. I was offered a counter deal. You never take the deal from the Shinigami. You always offer it, and if it doesn't accept, you leave it at that, Minato. What have you done? I did what I had to do, said Minato, taking off his arms from his shoulder. For everyone's sake. Otherwise, my son, or everyone else here would have died. And I cannot let that happen. You don't understand, do you? This is a disaster. A bigger one than you can imagine. No. This is something that was needed to be done. And I have done that. And so, Minato went and picked up his son and told, I will be going towards my wife and the medics. You can go and tell the council of what has happened here. I will inform my side of the story tomorrow. There's no need for them or you to wait for me. I just hope you realize what you have done, Minato. Because Shinigami taking its deal is the biggest disaster that one can have. And so, now we see Minato arrived back, and Kushina was more than happy to find both of them alive and well, as she hugged them, and then asked, "You told me you were gonna use the Reaper Death Seal to take a deal with the Shinigami. I'll tell you everything." As Minato explained everything to Kushina, as Kushina looked down at her son, regardless of if he has a demon merged with him or not, he is our son, and I will protect him to my dying breath. Whoever tries to harm him, I will kill him, even if it is Konoha's elite or our own friends. You understand that? I do, Kushina. I know. Nobody would harm him, as long as we are here. But the same story couldn't be said for the council. When Minato found out that the council knew what he has done, they called for him. And he wasn't sitting there as the Hokage. In fact, as a person who was there on a trial and questioning. I do not understand what is this behavior. Why are you questioning me like I'm some sort of criminal? Because you made a deal with the Shinigami, accepting its deal, which is worse. What did you take from it? Fine. I am telling you this because I trust you, and so Minato did. He told them everything. You mean to say you merged a demon with your son's soul so you could seal the Biju within him? That is much worse than the Kyuubi itself. A soul from literal hell is merged with your child. What do you have to say for that? That child is a literal demon, in a sense. As everyone yelled out and began to curse Minato. What? Why are you cursing me out? I saved you all. If it wasn't for that, the Kyuubi would have been freed, and not like any one of you gave me your child. You had your own kids. Where were they? Why were you not on the front lines, huh? Showing your patriotism and loyalty towards the village. That silenced everyone off, as Hiruzen stood up and said, "Enough, Minato. Look, we're grateful for what you did, but your son, he cannot mingle with the society. If he does, there would be a chance of a huge disaster here. A literal demon, a real one, not the Kyuubi that we labeled as, is now attached to his soul, and that in itself is horrifying. I cannot believe you people. I put my life alongside my son's life on the line for this, and this is the thanks I get? We know you are frustrated and pissed, Minato, but this is the best course of action for everyone. For your son, as well as for the rest." And so, now we see Minato agreed to these terms and was now looking towards his son back at home, revealing everything to Kushina. "It's fine." "What?" "I said it's fine by me. At least they won't bother my son." And as time went by, they both noticed that the Konoha itself was quite fearful of their child. He even tried to be nice, make friends, and they were downright terrified of him. Would run away. And Naruto would always look sad. "Why are they running away from me? What did I do wrong, Tochan?" "You did nothing wrong, son. It's just them being idiots." Naruto was told this at first, but him being a partial demon, as well as having the Kyuubi no Yoko sealed within him, wasn't helping. The rumors that have spread were now being exaggerated to the point that he was now no longer seen as a human, but as a literal demon in human skin, which was hated by everyone. And so, one evening, while Naruto was returning from a playground, he was cornered and attacked. Grabbed into an alleyway, we see Naruto being slammed against a wall. What are you doing? It hurts." "You are a monster, an abomination," said people wearing black cloaks and robe, covering even their faces. "And we, the Allegiance, would sacrifice you to Kami, and get rid of the sin that walk amongst our land." As everyone agreed to it, and begin to beat Naruto to the inch of his life. Naruto screamed, but everything was deafened. Scream as much as you want. There are barrier seals placed here, as the man said, but they forgot who their parents was. And Naruto, his seal was activated. The seal that was placed on him by his parents, and they arrived in an alleyway that was empty. What? Why are we here? Why does the seal indicate that he is here? It must be a genjutsu. As Kushina yelled this, we see on the other side the man who had ripped Naruto's shirt off to stab his heart out found that there was a small ring attached to a string which was going inside his chest. What's this, huh? Bullet. Maybe it will kill him. No, no, please don't. As it did, something happened. A huge flaming explosion happened, and what followed suit was Naruto's face was replaced by a monster's head, whose nose was extended so far with a blade, and from both of his arms ripped out the same blade as well. As Naruto let out a roar, and suddenly the blades began to spin blindingly, and what followed suit was a massacre. Naruto began to cut them down like trees, left and right. Not a single soul was spared. The one who was the leader, tried to attack Naruto, but his literal kunai flung it off faster than he could do anything. He dropped the genjutsu and was about to run away when both of his arms were cleaved off alongside his legs with two swipes. And then the two chainsaws were stabbed into his chest, and the face one was stabbed into his skull, killing him then and there. As Minato and Kushina stood there watching and were horrified at the sight. Naruto? Okawa-san. And suddenly, Naruto returned back to normal in front of them. Okawa-san. His wound marks, which were visible, were healing quite fast and disappearing. They grabbed me. They hurt me. And they pulled on this. As both of them gasped, and Minato picked him up. It's alright, son. You did nothing wrong. It wasn't your fault. You're not at fault here. And so, Naruto was taken by them. But the whole council, they had found out about the massacre, and Minato and Kushina were called in for questioning. What do you mean it's his fault? He was walking at home after playing in the play area alone. They were the ones who grabbed him. Says who? My son, he could be lying. He's a demon, and we have seen him in action. That child is not yours. He's a little monster from hell. Why can't you see that? Because we know he's not. Because we know you're trying to label him as such. He hasn't done anything wrong. He only defended himself. And if you people can't see that, then that's fine. I'm afraid, Minato, Kushina. Your son needs to be put on trial for what he has done. 18 people murdered by a small child. It's not a feat that no normal child could do. So what? He should have died? That would have proven his innocence? For the first time, am disappointed that I stopped the QB. As everyone gasped, because you sons of bitches deserve to die. All of you do. You will be held contempt of the council. You are hereby revoked from the council and are banished from this village. The more you stay, you will be arrested. We are leaving. You have 10 minutes. That's bullshit. We have a lot of packing to do. At least give us a week. No. 10 minutes. And Minato packed everything he could. All the scrolls and important stuff. As did Kushina. And all the money they have taken from there. And grabbed onto Naruto. And they begin to march outwards. As they were leaving, we see suddenly they were surrounded by the Anbus. What is the meaning of this? There's still time. We're leaving. By the order of the Dons of Shimura-sama, you are executed as traitors. What? No. As Minato and Kushina were about to be, Naruto literally ripped out his cord, and the monster was unleashed again. Naruto let out a roar, and what followed suit was blindingly killing left and right. One of the Anbus was able to cleave Naruto's arm off, as huge blood gushed out from there, as suddenly Naruto picked up the arm and placed it back on. reattaching itself, and then let out a roar and went out to hunt. More than 50 shinobis that were there were killed off instantly, while Minato and Kushina, a bit injured, were saved. As Naruto turned back to his normal self, we have to get out of here. Konoha, they're coming after us. As on the other side, Danzo Shimura, when no one returned, sent out his men only to find the other one that he had sent it in pieces. This doesn't look like a job for Minato and Kushina. It must be the demon that the boy holds. Very interesting. What are we gonna do? What if he tries to come after Konoha now? What if Minato and Kushina do? That in itself is a problem that we created. No, Homura, we didn't. We only sent them to be punished because they are the traitors, abandoning us in a time like this, siding with the demon that they have been charmed by. Two unfortunate souls that cannot be freed but can be killed. What we need to do now is to call for a help from a demon in its own right. Who? Orochimaru. Are you insane? Him? If Hiruzen finds out about this, there will be literal hell. Who says he's gonna find out about this? You? No, I won't tell him, but I know you won't. That is why there is no need to be worried about. He wouldn't find out, and once we have that demon, we will dissect it, study it, and utilize it to make Konoha great again. We will make even the land of fire bow down to us, and to our will. You're right. That is a great plan. We will focus on that. And so, now we see, on the other side, Minato and Kushina have been traveling. They arrived at the land of waves. There, they have met with the villagers whose condition was worse, but they opened their hearts to Minato. It was Tazuna. Thanks for letting us stay yesterday night, Tazuna-san. I have to ask, what is happening in this village? Tazuna in his expression explained about Gato and whatnot. And Naruto asked them if they needed help, which they begged to be. Minato and Kushina knew that they need to, so they decided to go and check it out, but they did not know that they had S-rank shinobis like Zabuza as well as a few other hunter ninjas, which caused them to be trapped. As foolish as it was, once Naruto found out, he went out on his own, even after being stopped by Inari and the others. But Naruto, they did not know, had a literal demon within him. And once more these chainsaws were unleashed. And once they did, all hell broke loose. Screams were heard. No matter how many weapons and cuts were thrown at Naruto, he would just continue to heal himself over and over and over again. Even if his head was cleaved off, his body moved on its own and then grabbed his head to be slammed again onto his body. Naruto had done them, killed them, and butchered them down, and freed not only his parents and the rest. As that is when we see, as they were leaving, one of the ice users stood up and threw ice and one needles towards his body, which pierced him, but Naruto still continued to walk. What are you, you monster? Naruto let out a roar and disappeared in a blinding speed. What followed suit was that person witnessed that he was on the ground and saw red, because right next to him his own body fell. As Naruto then slammed his chainsaw onto the skull that was there, and it was a horrifying sight. And that is when Minato and Kushina told him, "Enough, Naruto, you don't need to butcher him down." Sorry. As Naruto said this, he returned slowly back to his normal self. Why do you keep using the demon's power? I shouldn't, said Naruto. I mean, I'm helpful, am I? You're being helpful, son, but we don't want you to be that demon. You're Naruto, not that monster. But that monster is a part of me, right? After all, I was born with it. You weren't born with it, son. It's my fault that you're like this. What do you mean by that? It's nobody's fault. As Naruto hugged both of his parents. I'm gonna make sure nothing happens to you. I'll kill everyone and anyone who tries to harm you. Said Naruto with his eyes wide open, without a single expression on his face. And at that moment, Minato and Kushina realized that something was wrong with their son as well. So they brought him to a medic who they knew could be trusted, Tsunade Senju. It took a while to track her down, but it wasn't that hard. Wherever the casinos and gambling was, she would be found there with a lot of booze. And so, after seeing the child, she examined him and was horrified. I must say I am horrified at the sight of even that child now. What? What is wrong with our son? Are you sure he is even your son? The boy has no feelings towards anyone aside from you two. He needs to have more connections. His emotions are disappearing. How long have you seen him cry or be sad? As both of their eyes widened. We haven't. If anything, he has been for the most part just like that. Whatever that monster is within him, it might be affecting him. You need to find out why. What kind of deal did you make with Shinigami and what kind of monster the Shinigami sent? While on the other side, the news began to circulate in the elemental nations about a monster being one with a boy. All thanks to Minato no Mikaze, the banished Hokage from Konoha. While back in Konoha, a deal was arranged finally, after a lot of back and forth with Orochimaru, and on a neutral ground both Danzo and Orochimaru met. What do you want from me? I know you're planning to attack Konoha. I will give you the routes, the secret ones. Ah, the ones that your root people guard. Yes, but in turn I want you to capture the monster. The demon? Tell me more about him. As an image was drawn by Danzo and given to him, he has, from what I have been told, healing ability like no other. Even if you cut him into pieces, he will just keep on going. And not only that, the blades that he uses, they spin as if it's some sort of machine like monster. These are the new things that have been introduced in the Iron Country to cut down trees, chainsaws. Chainsaw Man, huh? What did you say? Like a hero from a manga, Chainsaw Man. But only this time it's not a hero, it's a monster, a demon. This is certainly interesting. I'll do it. But make sure you remember your promise. And so, Orochimaru was on the hunt. Naruto on the other side was just seated there looking aloof as Minato and Kushina arrived. Son, you wanna get some ramen? Ramen? Yeah, sure, why not? Are you feeling okay? Of course, why wouldn't I be? Said Naruto with a small smile. I'm here with my parents and I'm happy. Aren't you two? Is it because of me? No, son, of course not. Why would we be sad because of you? I'm happy, you know? It's like a family trip. I'm so happy. Said Naruto. As Minato and Kushina, a bit worried, at least were glad that they still had their boy here. Minato felt a lot of guilty because he knew it was his own son that has been turned like into this because of him. But there was nothing he could do but to be by his son's side. He only killed when it was necessary, not like he was a rampaging, bloodthirsty monster. It's just he sometimes felt like that he didn't care about anything when fighting those people, and even they felt bad for them. But that is when, a week or so later, Orochimaru tracked them down and was now standing in front of them. Minato and Kushina, they tried to fight, but with the poison mist that he created specially for them, was working on them as they were left paralyzed. And Naruto, both of his arms, before he could pull the cord, were cleaved off. Naruto's expression was still the same. You don't feel pain, do you? It hurts, but not that much. Who are you? Orochimaru. The one who will kill you, Naruto. No! Get away, son! Run! Naruto tried to, but both of his legs were cleaved off, and now he was on the ground. Turned around to the face, Orochimaru slammed the Kusanagi straight through his heart, twisting it a few times. There was not a single painful expression on Naruto's face, but his eyes, they began to turn lifeless. That is until Orochimaru made the mistake to grab the ring. And this thing is useless now, is it? Let me pull the demon out of you. And ripped out the cord, and that is when all hell broke loose. Orochimaru witnessed Naruto's limb regrew from the parts they were bleeding from, and his face turned into a sinister grin before it turned into the chainsaw. Getting up, Naruto chainsawed straight through his, well, the third leg, because that was the closest nearby, and ripped it up outwards, causing him to be split from down under to upwards, as Orochimaru, using his transfer technique, was able to save himself and turn into his true self. What the? As that is when he saw the monster, who let out a roar and within a blink of an eye was next to him, cleaving his other neck off. Using the third and the final body, Orochimaru knew he had to get away, but Naruto didn't let him. Cleaving his neck off, Naruto was butchering him down badly and told him, "Give me the cure." And after the cure was told by Orochimaru was in the near the body that was there, that he ripped open in half, Naruto went away to grab it and heal his parents, giving Orochimaru enough time to body transfer himself and making him believe that he was dead. Now back inside his cave, Orochimaru was fearful. That damn monster. What even was that? As soon as I ripped open that cord, he was unleashed. And almost killed me. Shinigami, huh? Kabuto. You know where the Shinigami masks are, right? Yes. Go and gather them. We need to have a word with the Shinigami itself. What about the Konoha crush? Forget about it! Because if that Shinigami can give demon to that boy, I can have that demon as well. There will be hell unleashed on this earth, because I will be unstoppable. As now we see, on the other side, Naruto, he was glad that his parents were fine. Konoha was even more scared, especially Danzo, because if Orochimaru was this close to die, they realized that there was really no hope for them. As they begin to wander around, Akatsuki got the wind of them and of what has happened. How are we gonna approach them? Naruto Uzumaki and his family. It is already a trouble as it is because his father and mother are there. But what about him? He is bound to a demon who can literally rip us all apart and without any worry to die. I have seen it, said Zetsu. As soon as you have the chance, cut off his arms and limbs, because if he rips that cord open on his chest, he would unleash that demon. That is the only way. And seeing him like this, Minato and Kushina would be vulnerable, which means we can go for the kill and take the Biju. And so now we see, after formulating a plan, a week had been gone by when their life was turned upside again. As Akatsuki attacked, Minato and Kushina tried to fight and Naruto tried to hide, only to get outside when both of them were captured and even stabbed. And Naruto was told and assured that if he comes outside and goes with them, both of his parents would be let live. And Naruto, like a son, did. No, son, run. They're lying. As Naruto, his both arms were cleaved off instantly, and so did his legs. Naruto was now laying on the ground. He was in pain, but he couldn't express it. You don't really have any emotions, do you? Really are a monster. It's funny how from sealing one into your son, you turn him into another one completely. You think you can use that cord now. You won't be able to. As for your parents, they have committed a huge sin against humanity. There is no place in the world we're building for both you and your parents. Kill them. No. Don't! You showed finally emotions as soon as Minato and Kushina were stabbed into the guts by the sword. Naruto's body was covered in chakra, and what followed suit was corrupted cubified Naruto in the seventh stage erupted, alongside with the chainsaws still attached to each of his tail as well as in his skull and hands. And Naruto unleashed hell. A cubified chainsaw Naruto was something they did not had planned, and it was butchering them down into cube-sized pieces in blinding speeds before you can even blink an eye and yell for help. One after the other, they all began to die. They couldn't even escape. It was so fast. And that is when Anbus unleashed on them. Anbus from Konoha who have been following them, alongside with Orochimaru's people for revenge. Naruto butchered them down as well, killing more than 350 people that day, including the Akatsuki. And then, he, using his chakra, the cubified chakra, healed both of his parents, and returned slowly back to normal self, all healed, but this time he passed out. Naruto! Naruto, wake up! He's still alive, seemingly exhausted. Used both the Kyuubi and the monster. I know. Used them both to save us. We have to get out of here. But he turned the whole forest into red. Are you afraid of your own son? Kushina? No, I'm not. And I'm not leaving him behind. I'm just scared that if something would have happened to us, what would he have done? I would have burned the world down, said Naruto, who was awake. You're awake? Yes, I am. I feel a bit cold. Why? It's a good thing you feel at least something, son. Here, take this. As the jacket was now given to Naruto as they all left. As soon as they did though, we see back in Orochimaru's lair and at Konoha the mood was somber. Danzo has lost 90% of its roots shinobi. Damn it all! That's more than enough of my root shinobi. All of those years of hard work, training them, turning them into perfect puppets, gone. Maybe we should stop following that demon. It hasn't done anything to Konoha. But we can't let him live. He will come after us after making sure his parents are safe. He has killed everyone. We have to go for the kill. You know it, and I know it. Orochimaru even failed. There's no saving them. As on the other side, Jiraiya, once he found out about what has happened, was enraged at Konoha and even threatened his sensei to leave if Minato and Kushina and his godchild was not called back. Jiraiya was given the go and went out to find them, which wasn't that hard, as within a week or so after the incident, he was able to locate them and knock on the room they were renting. Sensei, you don't look too happy to see me, Minato. It's just, I'm a bit wary of people. Come inside. It's alright if it's you. Why the sudden visit to Jiraiya? Said Kushina. Well, I had to meet my godson, because it's been years I haven't met him. How old is he? He is almost 12 now. I see, he's quite grown. Hello there. So he really has that emotional problem that Sensei was mentioning. You met with them? Yes. As Naruto frowned. You're one of them, aren't you? He went to grab the cord. No, Naruto, he is our sensei. He's like your godfather. Like grandpa? Yes. As Naruto arrived and kicked his knee. Where have you been, grandpa? And where are my gifts? I will get them for you soon. Don't worry, son. Even if the boy isn't showing that many expressions, he sure knows how to let people know what he is feeling. Yes, he does. I heard that you ran into a lot of trouble from everywhere. Yeah, there's been a lot of hectic and trouble. It's just, we don't understand. Why is he so hated? I heard what happened, Minato. He really made a deal with the Shinigami. It's not I'm not talking about that again, okay? It's been 12 years at least, Sensei, since that happened. What's the point of it being talked again and again? You're right about that. There is no point of us talking about it. It's just I'm still shocked and reeling from it that you really agreed to a deal with Shinigami without knowing the consequences. The only consequences at the time I saw were either my son dying or the village dying. Which I'm grateful that my son at least didn't, but I am a little guilty that he's turned out like this. He wouldn't have if it wasn't for Konoha. I know. Orochimaru. He is planning something big, from what I have been told. He's trying to acquire a demon of his own, from what my sources tell me. He wiped out the biggest threat that I was quite keeping eye on, Akatsuki. You mean those people with the black cloaks and red clouds? Yes, the same one. Thank God then. Which left us with two problems. Konoha's shinobi that has been targeting you. They're probably rude, aren't they? Said Minato. Of course they are. Sensei doesn't even know jack shit about this. But good thing is that you wiped out 90% of them. We didn't. Naruto did. What? We were captured. It's foolish, but every time we get captured, and Naruto has to fight on his own. Orochimaru was almost killed because he was cocky. Akatsuki, they did not see coming what has happened. I'm just glad that both of you are fine. And so, after a lot of meeting and talking and chatting, Jiraiya left. As on the other side, Orochimaru's hidden lair, he was finally able to wear the mask and sacrifice Kabuto himself, who was laying with a shock-filled expression on the ground, to make a contract with Shinigami. I wish to have the same demon as you gave the boy there 12 years ago. You cannot have that demon, Orochimaru. You can never have that demon. You have to give me that. I made a contract with you. You think I just have to give it to you because you said so? Are you forgetting your place? Fine, I will give you a demon. Here, as per the contract, you have a demon. As a cord appeared, as Orochimaru laughed, finally, I will have my revenge on you, Naruto Uzumaki. Just you wait. But make sure you only use it in front of them, because you only have one shot at this. But know this, once you die, your soul will be tormented in living hell for my amusement, for this insult. I understand. And so, the Shinigami left. And now, Orochimaru had a cord like Naruto around his neck, and he arrived, finding and hunting down Naruto. After cornering them, we see Orochimaru then said, placing his hand on the cord, "Now you will see the true power," and ripped it out, only for his head to explode alongside his body, painting everything red that was there. Huh? Did he kill himself? As Minato and Kushina, who had watched this happen, were shocked. At first they were afraid that maybe Shinigami has given him what he truly wanted. But turns out Shinigami has given him hell, here and there. As now, we see Orochimaru, who was now being tormented in the deepest pits of hell for Shinigami's amusement, watched at her. "You lied to me!" "No. I told you only use it once. And you did. You never asked what it was." Making Orochimaru the one who feels now dumb because he really didn't ask what it was. If he had, maybe this would not have happened. And now he was being tormented there. Back in the Elemental Nation, Naruto was enraged because his father was almost killed by yet another attack from Konoha, and then he ran away from his family. Both of his parents became very sick, and what followed suit was they contacted Jiraiya, who got alerted soon after that Konoha was under attack, as the three of them dashed back there only to find that more than half of the village was butchered down, alongside with Danzo and the elders, and a lot of Anbus were butchered down. "Naruto, stop! They continue to send Anbus after us. I'm gonna kill them all." No, you don't need to. It wasn't them. Then who was it? It was Danzo. You have killed him already. Just leave us alone. We promise we won't bother you. Yelled the people from hiding places. Naruto let out a roar. A roar that caused fear amongst them. And the massacre was stopped by his own parents. And it was known as much more greater event from the QB attack because the son who was done and tired of being called a demon arrived with a vengeful soul, almost crushing the will of fire and extinguishing it. If it wasn't for his parents, their past Hokage, they would have been killed without any shown mercy. Those who have been, their bodies when they were found, it was in chunks, and their horrified expression was more than enough to make them fear and realize who they were messing with. And from there onwards, the legend of the Chainsaw Man erupted, who unleashed his chainsaws from hell upon them if you cross him. And nobody knows where he was now, but they knew he was amongst them. Just don't target him or his family, or hell would unleash upon you all. As this is where I will be leaving this short movie off, guys. I hope you enjoyed this one, and if you did, then make sure you leave a like and subscribe to my channel if you like the content of this channel, and follow me on my Potato What If as well as Apollo Uchiha channel as well. As this is it for today. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.